Oh, comedy, how I love you so. In a world where comedy is few and far in between, there are millions of comics out there trying to make their name for themselves. And I am one of them. It's difficult to get out there and get up on stage in front of however many people and completely humiliate yourself with terrible jokes that you're still working on in hopes that one day you may get noticed or get some kind of special or something. You need to hone your gift. You need to hone this sort of craft and this way of words. And that's what I do each and every time I get up on stage. I am humiliated most of the time by the lack of laughs that I get. Sometimes I tell myself that maybe I shouldn't be a stand-up comic, but I guess that pushback within myself is the reason why I keep going with it, is because it makes me feel better, honestly. I really even love it when I completely bomb. I love it when I'm up there and I get up on stage, like at the Creek just recently. I told this joke about how if I saw a roach, I was gonna shoot myself. And it was ill received, but I got a few laughs, and those few laughs are what made it worth it. I love writing things that will be sort of unorthodox in a way, and I hope that I do. I'm still pretty predictable. However, the thing that I enjoy most about writing these jokes is that I enjoy that they're just me in some way, in some small way. People are getting to know me by watching this stuff. I have watched a lot of stand-up comedians, and I've watched and studied the way that they do their jokes and how they write their jokes and their writing process. Most notably, one of my favorite comedians would probably be Mark Norman. He explained his system, and he went on with discussing about how he started with an idea, and it was a very open and crazy idea, and then by the end of the polished product, when the finished product was a wonderful joke. Specifically, the one that I'm speaking about is the weed and cigarettes joke that he tells. My brother, he actually sent me that clip, and I think it's very encouraging to know that it begins with that single idea that you will have. The idea of, well, you know, this is something that I consider to be funny. It's something that I think will be funny. And then making and turning that idea into a joke. It's nice to know, and it's very refreshing to know that other people kind of have a similar process in this writing style, in the way of doing things. Sometimes you don't really feel any kind of vindication because, you know, you talk like I'm talking to you right now. Most of the time there's no response. You're just speaking into a camera, or you're just talking into a microphone. And the response that you're hoping for would be laughs, views, likes, dislikes, whatever. And sometimes it's not always the case. Sometimes you get no response whatsoever, like me right now. I'm talking to myself. But in turn, I'm going to be talking to you guys because you're going to hear it when I clip it and edit it and put it out there for the world to see. The reason why I do this is because I want other comics or other new guys to look and see, and for me as well, to reflect back on and see where I started from and where I'm going to be at in a few years. So this is sort of like a video vlog of like a time capsule kind of thing that I enjoy doing. I hope that I'm not being too redundant with it, because I don't know if I'm repeating myself or not, because I have the same kind of insecurities and the same kind of thoughts. I have things that I worry about all the time in this, and it will be fun to go back and look back on it and see exactly where I'm at as far as that's concerned. But right now, I guess I'm just working on my jokes being funny, working on my jokes being quicker. You know, as most of you know who know me, you know that I like to talk, and I like to embellish and, you know, throw a couple hyperboles in there and things like that to make the story more interesting. And that's where I'm at right now, is that most of my stuff is sort of surrounded in hyperbole. And in the joke world, it's not exactly the best thing to do that, because you need to have the quick story to the point. And that's what I'm learning to do. I had this joke about the homeless woman and me giving my homeless woman my phone number, and I had this whole story behind it. I saw this homeless woman, I gave her my phone number, and she said, "No thanks, I'm working on a better life." And I imagined us going home together and cooking together, and me making her food, and me almost dropping the pot, and her catching the pot because she's a better panhandler than I am. And, you see, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, it's like I get it, and it's kind of funny. But then when I shortened it, it's a whole lot better, such as, just being like, I saw a homeless woman, and I gave her my phone number, and she said, "No thanks, I'm working on a better life." Just stop, right? And then tack on the joke later on of being like, maybe we can cook together. She's a better panhandler than I am. It's just a little bit better in the construction of the joke. And so I've been really kind of honing that down and trying to get those things to mesh well, to flow well. And so people can identify my flow, they get me, they understand me. And in turn, what's ended up happening is that I'm actually developing a style. And it's kind of cool because there is a metamorphosis, there is a growth in this that I've noticed thus far. There's a growth on my creative side. I tend to try to think quicker. And that's all from stand-up. That's all from just trying to get better and better, and get behind the microphone and see what works and see what doesn't work, I'm very excited about the future and what the future is going to hold, but I'm also very excited about what the present has held for me thus far. I've already gotten some guest spots, which are pretty cool. Being in New Orleans and having a guest spot was awesome. It's great to say that my first time performing in New Orleans was a guest spot. It was at a place called the Courtyard Brewery. I never heard of this place before, but it didn't matter. It was still kind of fun. It was still kind of an incredible experience to just to say in my hometown, my first place I ever performed was a guest spot, meaning that I'm not having to wait on anybody. I have a set place to be. I get my time. It's my time, and I don't have to worry about open micers or nothing like that. They had the last guys that were in there just absolutely killed. They brought so much enthusiasm. They brought so much energy. Definitely learned a lot from them. They were very fantastic comics, and I hope that one day, like when I get better, I'll be able to perform with them again. They were really, really awesome guys. But New Orleans was amazing, and it felt good to get that. And I hope for more. I lucked out. I lucked out in the way that landed in me and Matt, my brother's lap. And we got to perform like that. It was fantastic. I mean, you can't beat that kind of thing, man. I hope for more of that stuff. I hope for a guest spot maybe one day in Austin, maybe a guest spot one day in Houston. I have a long way to go. This is definitely trudging through the mud. This is definitely something that is going to be hard to accomplish. Something like this, getting these guest spots and obtaining these sort of things isn't very simple to do. It takes a lot of trust, and it takes sometimes people to just give you a chance. And I'm hoping for one now. I'm waiting to hear back from one right now. I don't know if that will happen, but we'll see. We'll see. I put my name out there, but haven't heard anything back yet. And that's the game right there. Like you work on your jokes, you put your name out there, you put your jokes out there, you see what everybody has to say. And lately I've been getting a lot of wonderful and positive feedback from the Reddit community over at Reddit Standup, that subreddit. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite subreddits. Basically, in the nicest way possible, people have told me that, I guess, to put it into very simple terms, what I'm getting from it is that there's potential in what I'm doing. It's just not there yet, and I respect that totally. I respect that a lot. I feel happy knowing that people think it's funny. My jokes are funny. I feel happy knowing that people are listening to my jokes, and like I said, I can't wait to see what the future holds when it comes to that kind of stuff. I can't wait to see what the future holds when it comes to these sort of vlogs and these sort of stand-up comedy vlogs that I'm doing. I thoroughly enjoy putting them out there. I thoroughly enjoy people listening to them. I hope it brings in followers, and I'm just really excited about what the future is going to hold for this. So hopefully it's going to hold something good. I want it to. Anyways, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in and paying attention one more time. I wish you all the best. Thanks for checking me out. Like, subscribe, do all that follow stuff, and I will see you next time on Trey on Stage. Take care.